say it saved my life. And I say that with zero irony or wanting to be cool about it or anything. It saved my life. I was incredibly depressed and dealing with a lot of trauma, dealing with PTSD, also dealing with an eating disorder, disconnection from my body. And dance, like the repetition of dance, the discipline of dance, like put me back into my body in a way nothing else ever has. And especially how much pole hurts. It like tears at your skin and you get a lot of bruises, and it's really healing. Getting that feeling for what is sensation and what is pain, and like knowing how far you can push yourself and what your body can take. And I think it just like rewired me to find a lot of pleasure and challenge too. Yeah. And have a purpose.
First.
Yeah, so I've been camming since I was 18. And I started doing the pole dancing while I was camming. When I was living in Tucson, I think it took me kind of a long time to not feel like an imposter, questioning my own motives for doing it, especially on the days where things happened that I wasn't super cool with. I was like, why am I doing this? But that's just kind of other people's voices in my head. The reality is like, this is like the most fulfilling job I've ever had, even on the really difficult days. This like way fucking better life than the direction my life was headed before. And I think it saved me from a lot of depression and dangerous mental attitudes. I really felt like a sex worker when I found like other sex workers. When you're around other sex workers and you're able to relate on problems and relate on successes and good feelings and bad feelings, that's when I was like, oh yeah, like I really fit in with this community. And it's just kind of incidental that we all work at a strip club. Like, these are people I connect with like on another level, and I don't know what it is, but it's like an instant community that exists everywhere. I will share my thoughts on it, but I want to say that since I have disclaimer. I've only been dancing a year. There are people in my club that have been dancing there for like 9 years. At my club, personally, it's like a lot of people that care about you, and I think it teaches you, the strip club dressing room teaches you how to be a good person in general, because like it's a sacred space. One of my favorite stories from the club this year. So there was this night in October, and like everyone had a really bomb night. And I will say the culture of the girls especially that stay until 2 a.m.
Is that when it closes?
So everyone's sitting back there. We're like so proud of ourselves because no matter what you made, like we stayed until the close. Like we stayed until the last dance. This night, everyone was like, I could just hear the money counting. Someone put music on. I was finally like put my hair up in my bun and like had my comfy clothes on, and they're playing music and we're all like kind of singing, like swaying, dancing. There's 10 of us. We made it through the night. Everyone was counting a lot of money. That doesn't always happen. Yeah. That's rare. And there's usually not that many girls. And somebody put on Killing Me Softly with his song by Lauryn Hill, and we all started singing. We were doing the runs, we were like really feeling it, and everyone was singing in the whole room. And it was like really special to feel like we had all succeeded, and that we had just like all exerted ourselves so much all night, and now we got to have this really special like moment of sisterhood, and it doesn't always feel like that way. So even among like the wokest people, the people that have all the right things to say, I often get this, they'll like give me their spiel about how cool they think stripping is and how cool they think sex work is, and then they'll follow it up by saying, but I just don't understand why anyone would go to a strip club, because I don't understand why you'd pay to get turned on and then like left wanting more. So they can support it intellectually, but they don't understand why it exists, or how it could be fun. So first, to those people, I would like to say, it's fun being teased. Like, do you have to have sex every time you're turned on? Because I don't, and we all do it to ourselves all the time. We just don't realize that we do. Like, the ads you're looking at and the movies you watch are like often very sexually charged. So I think it exists in a different world. It's not about loneliness. It's like most of the people I see have partners, and I see couples, and I have a pair of gay men that have come and seen me at the club a couple times. They don't get dances, but they like to stand there and throw money at me because they like the atmosphere in general. A lot of people don't understand that like consent doesn't exit just the conversation just because there's been a monetary transaction. Like, so when you're coming in as a customer, like, just because you paid for something doesn't mean you're entitled to something, because I can always give you your money back.
Right.
And stop what's happening. You know, your typical sitcom has like a black character, a lesbian character. I think sex work is becoming like one of those groups that people want on their sitcom.
A token sex worker. Yeah.
A token sex worker, in the way that queer people, like, for example, like gay best friend kind of thing, or like, I mean, it happens with people of color a lot, and not just in TVs, but like
in real life.
Like, at one point I posted on Instagram about being a sex worker, and I felt like I had a lot to justify with it, kind of, like, and I think once I confessed that I also had like some mental health issues, or a lot of mental health issues, people were like, oh, okay.
Now it's fine.
Now I understand why you dropped out of college. It's like you couldn't see that path for me, except for that these other things happened. Like, you think this is a diversion of my path, whereas this is
part of it.
This is actually what feels right to me, so.
Yeah, this is the path.
I think it's a perfect parallel, because with massage, some people get massaged therapeutically. Some people get a massage on their vacation.
Yep.
Some people see sex workers therapeutically, and some people are like, I'm on vacation, I'm with the boys, I want to get a little crazy. And just like in the real world, like you'll find every expression of that, of like what people want to provide too. So she has a book, I think it's like How Not to Be a Dick at a Strip Club or something. So a lot of this will probably be repeated there, but I cannot stop preaching consent enough. Consent does not fly out of the door at a strip club. So I don't take my top off on the floor, and I don't allow people to touch my breasts on the floor. But people get mad about it. They're like, the last 5 dancers let me touch their boobs and took their top off. But ultimately, it's not the job of the person to have better boundaries. It's your fucking job to ask before you touch, just like you would. I hope you would. But I would hope that you would apply the same consent laws that you use in your own life. Oh yeah, my number 2 is never haggle over the price. No, I'm not gonna do a 3 for 2 deal or some kind of shit like that. No, that's never gonna happen. The fact that I can make money doing that now, like, it's amazing to me, and like the fact that I get to have this beautiful part of my life be such a huge part of my life, I just will never not be grateful for that, even on the worst days. In a lot of ways, the club has been really healing for me in that respect too. Just knowing, like, seeing my body as a tool instead of the end all be all of myself and what matters about me.